welcome to our webinar today on Data Explorer. My name is Barrett, and I'll be your host for today's session. Our presenter today is Ben, and he comes from the KnowledgeNet team. I'll let him introduce himself in just a little bit, but we've partnered with KnowledgeNet to create Data Explorer, and we look forward to talking more about that in just a little bit. But the idea behind it is you'll learn how Data Explorer allows data collected in iFormBuilder to be presented in a single location. So you're able to preserve data, add contacts, and allow for full collaboration. So it's really intelligent digital transformation is now possible with the partnership between iFormBuilder and KnowledgeNet. And then with that, the next step on our agenda here is I'm actually going to hand it over to Z. Z, I was hoping you could jump on this call and talk a little bit about the partnership between Zerion and KnowledgeNet and how this all came about.
Sure, thanks, Barrett. So yeah, I'm just going to give a 2-second overview of how this partnership came about. Mehdi, the CEO of KnowledgeNet, and I have been friends for a long time. We work on different types of projects. He was actually my advisor for a few years on how to be a better CEO. In the last few years, he founded KnowledgeNet.ai, a company focused on putting data together to become knowledge. And so when we were chatting together earlier this year, we thought we could put our brains together and create something interesting to solve the I call it now what problem, where iFormBuilder helps you collect all the data, but now you have all the data, so now what? So what you're seeing today is the result of the early partnership result. So together with KnowledgeNet and Zerion, we can bring about what we call intelligent digital transformation, and more particular is a concept what we call collaborative intelligence. And you will see in this webinar how this is done. But I just want to give a little bit of a analogy. It's kind of like you're the governor, and you will see the governor going into a party where the governor have no idea who like he or she is talking to, and there usually is an assistant next to the governor saying, "Hey, Governor, this is Joe. You actually talked to him two days ago, and he works in this business." And when the governor go up to Joe, he can greet Joe by the name rather than has no idea who he's meeting. And what we've created together, it's kind of like this great assistant next to you. So without further ado, let's bring it to Ben. Is Ben still around? So let's hear it from Ben. All right.
Excellent. Thank you, Z. Hey, everyone. This is Ben Victorico with KnowledgeNet. Thank you again for joining us today. I'm excited to show you how Data Explorer will help you and your company in minutes to continue your transformation journey. First paper and then digital, collaborative intelligence. This is intelligent digital transformation. And what you're going to see today will only take about 20 minutes to deploy in your environment. So you could actually be actively using it this afternoon. So we want to get you excited about it, but let you know that it's available and easy to deploy. So Data Explorer will provide you with intelligent digital transformation of your iFormBuilder data. It'll create a knowledge network using AI engines, so it happens automatically, to connect your data and conversations about the data to unlock insights and connections that are buried and hidden. We surface this information directly through our email plugin where no training is required. So on the top right, the plugin is that assistant that Z was talking about. It will be there feeding you unique and dynamic information right at your fingertips about any email that you're working on that you've received or are about to draft. So I'll show you this in just a second. And then I'm also going to show you our web application where you can search for anything across all of your iFormBuilder data, your accounts, contacts, topics, conversations, relationships, etc. So there's a lot happening in the middle. but that's all processing and making this available to you and then to the user. Very simple, easy to deploy, easy to understand solution. We know that collaboration is very important, and using email for collaboration is very hard. It's independent, it's not connected. We get 121 emails per day on average. We get things from people we don't know. And things like Teams and Slack, which are for collaboration, but more for instant messaging, haven't made that any easier to get to the connections that drive your business. You need the data and conversations to be linked to the topics and the companies and the people all in one place. And that's what we've provided through Data Explorer. So now I want to show you an example, kind of go through a workflow so that you can understand how this works. And so we've created an inspection workflow for South Carolina inspection company that does building inspections. They have 200 employees and they've been using iFormBuilder since 2018. Lisa is a field worker, and Lisa is going on site to fix an issue with a water pressure valve. And she discovers that this part number 8675 from ABC Corp has failed. And so she replaces the valve and the connector, and then she files an iFormBuilder entry using iFormBuilder that you're familiar with. And then James, who is a project manager, needs to find out and see if other people are experiencing problems with this connector because he hears from Lisa. And so he wants to know who's talking about it. Have others had issues with this connector, this pressure valve, and is ABC Corp aware of this? So he starts drafting an email, sending it to 7 people, and he knows this is going to create a lot more email traffic, 24 emails, 3 different email threads, 4 out of the 7 people aren't contributing, and yet 3 days later, because this is a part that is commonly used, someone's going to ask the same question all over again. These are the problems that the South Carolina inspection company is having. They don't have a way of collaborating. They don't have a specific solution, so they fall back on email, texting, and calls. All the information is siloed today and not readily accessible. And they have a single point of knowledge. You know, if they do have a problem, their only solution is go back to the stakeholder that owns that part of it, the manufacturer, the engineer, the design team, the installation team. They don't have a way of collaborating. At least they didn't in the past. But because they have Data Explorer and this iForm connection, this information is being pushed to them. So Data Explorer collects and connects information from iFormBuilder to surface that relevant information. And as you can see, it's tagging this information and also that's identified in the email, and it's also relaying intelligence, who was the last people that talked to ABC Corp, any related messages. For example, you see there that Medi's not seeing any issue with it, and Jen is having a meeting tomorrow with ABC Corp. And so we're able to surface all of this information, and in doing so, James is able to change his message. Instead of something that is going to be an inquiry, he can now add insights and provide contributions. So he crafts a different email because of this, where he's telling the team, I know we're seeing a few issues with these pressure valves. There's a meeting coming up. Jen, tell me if you need anything, or Lisa, for your meeting with Nick about ABC Corp next week. So you see here in this simple workflow, we've averted a lot of work. We've provided knowledge to all the users and been able to have conversations related to that data. So this true intelligent digital transformation has taken place, where there is the relationships of things that have been happening. the relevancy of information so that the communications can be clear and providing that assistant that gives actionable intelligence, the ability to search across all the iFormBuilder data, and the ability to have a knowledge map that connects the relationships between all of these people and the problems at hand. So again, the Data Explorer unlocks the insights and connections that are buried or hidden and surfaces them, as in the example that I showed with the email connector. In a minute, I'm going to show you the web application. So from the connector, you could drill deeper into the web application, but we want to get some feedback from you. So we're going to do another poll.
All right, great, Ben. Thank you. So for all the attendees, I'm going to launch this poll. And the simple question here is, do you see value in what Ben just presented? Answers are pretty clear, yes, no, or maybe. So if you could go ahead and put your responses in. And Ben, a few questions came up while you were presenting because this is such a new concept. One of the questions was, does KnowledgeNet write the emails for me, or do I write them and they get into KnowledgeNet?
So KnowledgeNet presents the information on the right-hand side that gives you intelligence that helps you craft the email, or if you're receiving an email, provide you more information about what that email is about. We do collect this information in the email, and we're able to add intelligence to it. So if you end up storing the email in KnowledgeNet for to surface back up at a later date, we help make that process. But you'll be writing the emails yourself.
Okay, thank you. And then another question that came up while you were talking through this is, it's great to be able to see all the information in there, but how do I get notified if somebody has added a document or somebody has added some notes or a new email came in from someone else's account? How am I notified, or what ways can I be notified?
That's a great question. As I go through the next step, I'll answer that question and talk about that.
Awesome. Okay, so that's it for now, and I am going to close the poll. Just to give you an idea, Ben, it looks like about 50% of the people are excited and see value in what was presented, and the other 50 are more on the maybe side. So you have about 50% of the audience you still have to win over.
Yeah, I got more work to do here. Maybe I can win them over by showing the next step here. So what we've realized in working with Zerion is that the value and the importance and backbone of your individual companies, and the reason you use iFormBuilder, is in the field operations and the data collection. And by bringing AI to the field and leveraging across the organization, we're truly providing this digital transformation. What you see on the screen here is our web application, and this web application allows you to drill into more layers of this information, and also I'll show you some features here of the technology. But basically on this top area, this is for the ABC account, ABC Corp account. So this is where, as the communications have gone in and we've hashtagged this information about that part number 8675 for the pressure valve, here's where all the conversations have been happening. And these are the people that are following ABC Corp. So part of answering that earlier question is that the users can follow the accounts that they're interested in, the information that they're interested in, maybe the part numbers that they're interested in. And if they ring the bell, if there's a post or a new document, it is automatically alerting them. And if they don't ring the bell, then they can get a daily briefing report of anything that happened in their timeline. And then they can follow and unfollow as needed. And then on the right-hand side, we have here in this right-hand side in the middle are the relationships, and then the news intelligence. So if ABC Corp has a website or they're in the news, we can feed up the information to the users, what's happening. And then we have a lot of different data elements and structured data and files and things. So let me show you a few of those examples of how with this single view here, you're able to manage and collaborate and retain all of this critical information. So the first part is that all of this is secure. We have SOC 2 certification. We'll be happy to provide that SOC 2 report. This allows you to have public and private communications and public and private messages. So you can communicate internally, privately if you need to, but you can also communicate with third parties, maybe with ABC Corp, using KnowledgeNet as well, and retain, of course, all of that communication that you're having with them. It's a conversation vault. So this is, instead of like Teams or Slack, where it's hard to go back to that message that you received, this is preserved forever and in its relevancy. So all related here about this part number for ABC Corp, so that you're able to have this multi-threaded conversation and bring this up at any time to view what's happening during that conversation. So preserving the past, the present, and the future. And then I had mentioned earlier that it's followed by everyone. This is one of the reasons that it's so easy to adopt, is that the users are able to stay informed on the things that are important to them, the groups, the people, the hashtags or information that matter to them. So it reduces these emails of spam. Remember, James had sent out that email and it resulted in 24 additional emails. It reduces that dramatically. And then I mentioned the connecting of relevant news. So for ABC Corp or any company that you're following, we're presenting the news information to you as well, feeds about company, people, or the hashtagged information. And then we're able to leverage your existing technology. If you're using a CRM or a document management system, we're able to bring that into KnowledgeNet so that you have one place to be able to access, for example, for a document management system, access any of the files or documents that are related to ABC Corp. And then the relationships. These are the relationships between your company, for example, and ABC Corp, so you can visually see the relationships and see people that you may not know that you have access to be able to talk to. And then you're also able to see any of the knowledge network related to conversations that are being had and how those conversations are linked to one another. So a visual way of exploring the connections that you have within your company. So this was, our overview today of this intelligent digital transformation using iFormBuilder data combined with Data Explorer, where we're able to use the AI engines and connect the data and the conversations that then we surface to you either through the email plugin or through the web application. The result is giving you the ability to search across all of your iFormBuilder data and have conversations about that data. So we can provide you insights where we are surfacing related information, giving you visibility to view all of your conversations that are important to you, provide you with the ability to discover the relationships and connections you didn't know you had, and then all of this done in a very secure way, protecting and preserving the past and future information and knowledge. This creates knowledge for your company. So I think now we'll open it up for more conversations, and I think we may have another poll as well. But before we do that, part of what we were talking about several times is that this is something you can start with immediately. We could get you up and running this afternoon. The onboarding is a 20 or 30-minute meeting where we set up your account and show you how the system works. And there's no charge for this, so we're excited to partner with you right away and get you up and running.
Ben, I want to thank you for your time today. Z, I want to thank you for your time, and to all our attendees, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us and talk through what KnowledgeNet looks like and Data Explorer with iFormBuilder. If you are interested in getting started using KnowledgeNet, then your customer success manager will reach out to you and we'll figure out a time to start that process with you. If there's nothing else, thank you all and enjoy the rest of your day.